Happened on Monday, the 26th. All right. A lot of high scoring games. The first game is the Brooklyn Nets beat the Cleveland Cavaliers on the road 125-117. That is not easy to do. The Nets, they have won what, 9 straight after this? Yeah, crazy. They won 9 straight. It looks like the squad is doing all right. Ben Simmons played 34 minutes, had just 4 points, but you don't have Ben Simmons for scoring. 9 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 steals and a block. I guess if you drafted this guy around the 100, it's kind of paying off, especially like if you got a team that's pounding threes, pounding free throws, and pounding points. That's a lot of categories to pound. But I think if you just pound free throw, he's totally fine. He's gonna give you 9, 10 points a game. Not a lot of scoring, but look at the peripheral stats. Beautiful. KD and Kyrie both play super well. Efficient from the field. No defensive stats from both, but scoring, threes, efficiency, everything is good. Royce O'Neal continues to get huge minutes. 36, had just a block here and 2 threes. And Claxton with the steal and block. Claxton continued to just play at a very elite level in the last 2 weeks. Yeah, he's actually the 10th ranked player in the last 2 weeks, averaging 2.6 blocks on the season. Where is Claxton at? 40th ranked player. Yeah, I mean, he's probably going to be in the area like top 50-ish. Really, really poor free throw. If you ignore the free throws, he can even be higher. He's really leading the league in top 3 in blocks at least. Because this year, Miles Turner, Rudy Gobert, block rate has gone down. He's averaging only 1.2 or 1.5 blocks. So Claxton is definitely up there. TJ Warren actually came in and played 27 minutes. Maybe at some point this season he could be fantasy relevant. But 27 minutes for TJ is probably not enough yet. For the Cleveland Cavaliers, oh boy, Darius Garland. 20 field goals, went to the free throw line 15 times, hit 5 threes, 46 points, but I guess just not enough. Donovan Mitchell had a pretty rough night, hit 3 threes, a steal and a block, 5 assists. Across the board, did a bit of everything. That's good. Jared Allen had a steal and a block. Evan Mobley had a steal and a block. All the Cavaliers guys had a steal and a block. Nothing really stands out. Evan Mobley played 39 minutes, and Darius Garland played 30, 40. So those are pretty high minutes for those guys. And Karis LeVert, man, he was getting 30-plus minutes. Now he just gets 20. Kevin Love got 13. Cedi Osman got 30. Yeah, LeVert just dropping everywhere. I don't know if at this point I want to stream him. It's kind of disappointing. Thought he would have a larger role coming in here into this year on this team. But they're just just give the starter, 35 minutes. And him coming off the bench getting 20 to 25 now that everybody is healthy. All right, let's go to the next game. The Clippers beat Detroit. I think they went on a 30-5 run or something in the end. 140-131, they beat them in overtime. Marcus Morris Sr. played just 27 minutes with overtime. Had 16 points with 3-3. Batum, wow, Kawhi Leonard was out. He's the one who got over 30 minutes, had 2 steals and 12. But again, all the Clipper guys, unless they got a back-to-back, I'm not really interested in streaming them. Reggie Jackson committed 5 fouls. Not really. He's not a must roster, just a stream guy. Because they got too many wing guys. Luke Kennard, John Wall, Norman Powell, Terrence Mann, Nicholas Batum, Marcus Morris Sr. All those guys can come in and play 25 to 30. So depending on who is playing, depending on the matchup, Ty Lue does a lot of things. It just, other than Kawhi and Paul George and Zubac, everybody else on this team, I don't think anyone is a must roster. Paul George played great game from Paul George. 11 assists, 3 steals, and a block with 32 points. Good stuff. And Zubac, try to sell high, to be honest. In a lot of games with Kawhi Leonard and both Paul George and Kawhi Leonard are playing against a certain matchup, he's just not going to get 35 minutes a night. This is obviously very good here. 15 rebounds, 4 for 4 from the free throw. And only took 5 field goals in 41 minutes of action. All right. For Detroit, oh man, everybody played well too. Bogdanovich, 23 points with 2 steals and block. Isaiah Stewart, one of his best games of the season. But I think with Jalen Duren starting, he's rebounded. He's not playing at the center, so his rebound is going to dip quite a bit. But, you know, he shoots threes, so that's good. 3 3, 7 rebounds, still in 2 blocks. I don't think he's a must roster. After this game, it's fine if you want to pick him up. But obviously, could be a streamer if you're looking for some rebounds, some threes, and a little bit blocks. Jaden Ivey has played 30 minutes. Was in a bit foul trouble, but 8 assists is good, 15 points. He's a guy that I'm willing to hold. Obviously, now, due to his counting numbers are good, but his efficiency is probably really hurting you. Just hold on, maybe toward the end of the second half of the season, he's gonna improve, hopefully. Kaden Hayes, great game. He's a must roster. 10 assists, is still at 18 points with 4 threes. And Alec Burks, with overtime coming, played 28 minutes. He could be a streamer if they got a back-to-back. Same thing with Sadiq Bey if you're looking for threes. But I'm glad they did not play Corey Joseph this game. So the young guards get a extra run. Get some extra runs. The next game, the Timberwolves lost to Miami. 110-113. Anthony Edwards continued just... The turnovers is a bit high, but 5 3, 7. Offensively just has it going, man. As soon as Cat went down, D'Lo did not have the best game here, but both D'Lo and Anthony Edwards, their ranks have skyrocketed ever since Cat went down. Cat is going to be back at some point, so we'll see what happens with these guys' productions. To be honest, I'm going to try D'Lo for sure. I'm going to try to sell high. Anthony Edwards, the man can do everything, so unless you can get a top 20 player back, I will probably just hold. Jaden McDaniels had a steal and a block. Good stuff. Rudy Gobert, no blocks this year, just pretty horrible. His fantasy numbers has dipped a lot. And on the season, he's a 44th ranked player. Not horrible, but he's only averaging 1.2 blocks now. The rebound's still fine. The field goal is fine. But, over the years, he always been a 2 blocks guy. So that's a huge dip. Austin Rivers keep coming in and get some minutes, and not really interested. D'Lo, 13 points, 8 assists. Sure, 3 threes. Could done better, but can't really complain. Without Cat, I'm going to really try to sell high on him. And Nasri come in, played 30 minutes. Yeah, I think with as long as Kyle Anderson is out, Nasri is going to get some extra minutes and worth streaming. I mean, look at the numbers. 21 points, 11 rebounds. Give him 30 minutes, he might be better than Rudy Gobert in terms of putting up fantasy numbers. We look at the Miami Heat. Where's Jimmy Butler? Still nowhere to be seen. Max Juice started. Played just 25 minutes. Hit 5 threes. Sure, I think with Jimmy Butler out, he's a guy that we could stream for threes for sure. Caleb Martin played just 28 minutes. Interesting. Why did he only play 28? But had 8 points, 8 rebounds. He's a streamer. For sure. If he gets 35 minutes, like if everybody is healthy, I think he's just a streamer. But if Jimmy Butler is out, he could get 35 minutes, then he's a must roster. Nikola Jovic. Well, Bam was also out, and they still pulled out the win. Tyler Hero had 3 steals. Yeah, biggest change this year from Tyler Hero is that he's getting the defensive stat. Went 0 for 8 from 3, but that's okay. 3 steals, 8 assists is really good. Kyle Lowry, same thing. 9 assists, a steal, 18 points with 2 threes. I don't really know where this Miami Heat team is going this year. They are the 9th right now in the East. Maybe they make a late push, but their ceiling is don't think they can go too far. Let's go to the next game. The Rockets. Wow, that's a bad loss by the Bulls again at home to this Rockets team. Emperor Şengün absolutely went off. 25 points, 11 rebounds, 10 for 12 from the field, 6 assists, a steal and 2 blocks. Hit his free throws. This is why he was getting drafted super high, because he could do everything. And if the efficiency is there, the minutes is there, he's a beast. He could be a top 30 player. Jalen Green, wow. Jalen Green had a great game. Same thing with Kevin Porter, actually. Jalen Green, efficient from the field, but 0 for 2 from the free throw line. But Kevin Porter is the one who went off. 36 points, 9 assists, and 7 rebounds with 6 threes. He is... Well, Kevin Porter Jr. this year for sure is better than Jalen Green. But he still got his efficiency issues. He is, 100 ranked player. But pretty sure if you ignore the turnovers, well, there's a lot of category to ignore. but his counting numbers is really good. 5.6 assists a game, 5.5 rebounds a game, 1.4 steals, 0.4 blocks, 2 threes, and 19 points. So the counting numbers are really, really good. They're coming in. Jabari Smith had 2 steals and 2 blocks. Good. Really good. He's going to have some efficiency issues, but again, the counting numbers look pretty good. All right. We look at the Bulls. It's a bad loss for them. DeMar DeRozan played 40 minutes so that they lose by 15. 31 points, 9 for 10. You know, this Bulls team, man, it's something's going to happen. Something's got to happen. You know, they might need to blow it up. They ain't going nowhere. And they got a lot of stars on this team that could potentially help other teams to win the chip. Right now they're 11th. I mean, so it's like they can still beat them plays. But yeah, it's pretty bad. Patrick Williams had a steal and 2 blocks, 40 minutes. He could be a streamer for defensive stats. Vucevic, pretty bad game. Zach LaVine, pretty 2 for 5, 22 points with 2 threes. He is just, he hasn't been good this year. Yeah, he hasn't been good this year. He's a 75th ranked player now. And you know, the counting numbers it looks, to be honest, like last year he was averaging 0.4 steal, 0.5 steals. The defensive stats look okay, 1.1 steal, still no blocks, but I think the field goal is the biggest drop off. He's shooting 45%. In the years in the past, it's like 48, 49. That's just like, 4% may not be that big of a difference, but you know, that's like difference between top 50 and top 70, 77, 75, I think, because you're gonna make more threes, you're gonna have more points. All the other categories gonna go up a little bit, and only shooting 81% from the free throw line. So efficiency wise, a lot could go up. Ayo Downs almost started because Alex Caruso was hurt, but this guy doesn't really put up any fantasy numbers. And let's forget about Kobe White. All right, got 3 more games. The Indiana Pacers lost to the Pelicans. That's no surprise. The Pelicans, they are the number 2 team in the West right now. Wow, the Denver Nuggets, they're the first. For the Pacers, yeah, it's Buddy Hield. Well, because it's a blowout. Buddy Hield, all the starters got like 20 minutes. Buddy Hield played 23, hit 4 threes in 23 minutes. That's good, and a steal, 12 points. Aaron Naismith, who's been playing fairly well. I think he could be streamed at least. 10 rebounds, 10 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. And he's been starting, right? If it wasn't a blowout, he would get 28, 29 minutes. He's very, very efficient. Doesn't really turn the ball over. He's a guy that can help you with the efficiency category and some threes, some points, and some defensive stats. So I like him. Miles Turner had a steal and block, 8 rebounds, 2 for 4 from the free throw line, but the rest of the line looks fine. The Pacers do have a back-to-back, so if you stream, a lot of guys you could stream, right, before Monday. Naismith, Andrew Nembhard, Jalen Smith, even though he played 6 minutes. Okay, now that Chris Duarte is back, Benedict Mathurin, like, how many guys did the coach play, man? And then for the win, I'm not worried about Tyrese Halliburton, obviously, the best player on this team by far, 6 assists, 2 steals and a block. But, like guys like Buddy Hield, Andrew Nembhard, Benedict Mathurin, Chris Duarte, the minutes going to be up and down. Because the coach is not afraid. If you're playing well today, I'm going to give you more minutes. Well, actually, the Pacers, they're the 8th seed right now in the East. So it's not like they're tanking. For the New Orleans Pelicans, without Zion, no problem. CJ McCollum had 19.7 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 steals. Great. They started Jackson Hayes and Valanciunas together. I haven't seen Jackson Hayes in a while, but he put up numbers, 9 rebounds, 3 blocks, and 15 points. But I don't think we need to pick him up. And interestingly, Larry Nance Jr. played just 18, while Valanciunas played 28. Maybe without Zion, they want to play Valanciunas a little bit more. We still hold on to Larry Nance, but that just tells you, like, both Larry Nance and Valanciunas, their values are going to be up and down all season, and that same thing with their minutes. Jose Alvarado had 3 steals. Sure, I think he could be a streamer for some assists and steals. And lately, he's been shooting the ball really well. Not this game, though. And RJ Marshall also played 30 minutes. He could be a streamer. Oh man, a lot of guys were out actually. Trey Murphy was out as well. Zion was out, and what's going on with Brandon Ingram? He's been out for quietly like three weeks now. What's going on with him? Hopefully it's not something serious. But Najee Marshall is the pickup this week. If all the other, I mean, Herbert Jones is also out. So yeah, a lot of guys were out tonight. Last night. All right, let's go to the next team. The Jazz lost to the Spurs. Okay, that's a bad loss. Lauri Markkanen continues to just dominate. 32 points, 12 rebounds, 13 for 13 from the free throw line. And he is continuing to be inside that top 30 at least. Oh my God. Forget about top 30, top 15, 15th ranked player. 23 points, 3 threes, 8 rebounds, shooting 53% from the field and 85% from the free throw line. The efficiency is a little bit high, but even if he drops off a little bit, he could be top 30. Vanderbilt and Kessler both started again. Pretty rough game from Kessler, but don't even think about dropping him. Continues to hold, and Vanderbilt also had pretty rough. They committed 4 fouls. Jordan Clarkson forced his way to 25 points again, and Mike Conley put a pretty well-rounded game. 6 assists, 3 steals, and a block. If he continues to do that for like a week or two, try to sell him. Malik Beasley came off the bench, hit 2 threes. Took 11 threes, only hit 2 of them. Colin Sexton. But yeah, this team, man, they are not tanking, obviously. And Malik Beasley, I think, if everybody healthy, he's the guy that we want to stream for. We could stream for some threes, but everybody else, like Colin Sexton, not really interested. For the Spurs, Keldon Johnson played okay. 21 points with 2 steals. Jeremy Sancha. Just what does he really provide? I don't know. Provide a little bit everything. So unless the Spurs got like a crazy schedule, I wouldn't touch him. Jacob Poeltl had, okay, now the blocks are coming. 2 steals and 4 blocks. Poeltl has been somewhat disappointing this year. Also, the block numbers was quite low. Only 1.1 blocks. It's weird for some big men. You know, if they come off the bench 20 minutes, they are just more aggressive at getting the blocks. So they could average 2.5. But once they become a starter, they get 30 minutes, the blocks are no longer there, only averaging 1.1. This is obviously a good game. Devin Vassell also huge game, 24 points, 2 threes, took 22 field goals, 2 steals and 2 blocks, and 34 minutes. It's weird, like he was coming off the bench, now he's a starter, played 34. But I feel like for the Spurs guys, the minutes gonna be inconsistent. They're gonna rest, even though like I don't know, they're like under 25. Trey Jones played just 27 minutes, had 5 assists, 5 rebounds, and still 11 points. Okay. And Zach Collins is a guy that he does have a little bit of fantasy upside. It's interesting how basically him and Poeltl, they're kind of splitting the minutes now. Does it mean at some point he's going to get more minutes? I'm not sure. But if Poeltl does get moved, Zach Collins is a must roster. He get a lot of block shots, can grab rebounds. He's can contribute in a lot of categories. Let's go to the last game. The Charlotte Hornets lost to the Blazers. No surprise. And it's no surprise Blazers score 124 points against them. All right, Gordon Hayward, 2 steals, 10 points, 5 rebounds. Okay, PJ Washington has a nice game, 22 points with 4 threes, great efficiency with 3 blocks. You continue to hold on to him. What are you gonna do? Mason Plumlee had 27 points, played 27 minutes. Just Mason Plumlee numbers. Just one more defensive out of him. Only 1 steal here, but had 6 offensive rebounds. That's great. And Terry Rozier, what is going on? 2 for 17. He had last 2 seasons. He's been great. He's like a top 50 player. This year, it's been horrible. Obviously a buy low, but throw him a top 100 player. Don't spend any more because you don't know. Because he had 2 good years, and the 2 years before that, he's never been a great efficiency player. Like he was like almost a 50%, 40 or 49% field goal guy in the last couple of years. Not the case this year, and the defensive stats were gone completely as well. LaMelo Ball also had a rough shooting night, but the counting stat looked fine. I mean, at least he's healthy. And Ken Oubre Jr. still got 33 minutes with the full squad, but 33 minutes coming off the bench is still great. Hit 2 threes, so continue to just write it out. No defensive stats with 15 points, but his free throw is really a big issue. 3 for 6 again. For the Portland Trailblazers, Damian Lillard struggled a little bit, but had 2 blocks somehow, 9 assists. Anthony Simons also did not shoot the ball well. So their 2 best offensive players didn't play so well, but Jerami Grant picked it up. 32 points, 10 rebounds. Oh man, these guys, man, try to sell him Jerami Grant. That would be my suggestion. He's supposed to be average around 20. He's not supposed to average like 23 points now that everybody is healthy, right? He's like the 3rd option on this team. Offensively, 22 points, still averaging 20 points, 55th ranked player. If you can get a top 40 player, do it. Yusuf Nurkic also, wow, what a game from him. Again, Charlotte Hornets, the centers go off versus them. 15 points, this is what Nurkic can do, right? When he plays well, he looks really pretty. 15 points, 6 assists, 2 steals and 3 blocks with 5 threes. 5 threes, 28 points. After this explosion, Nurkic is 80th ranked player. Yeah, 80, 90 is probably where Nurkic would be. If you can get a top 50 player for Nurk, you can try to do it. But again, Nurk's biggest problem is also the free throw. 68% from the free throw line. Everything else looks decent. So it's interesting how the 2 guards struggled, that all the other guys play super well. Same thing with Josh Hart, had 13 rebounds and 11 points. And that's it, guys. I'll see you next time.